right, let me just say, let me be very, very, very clear. Because that was a good long break. Time for you to steam and get very angry. The ones that love Corey Mills to start sending me emails about hate and all that. Let me just be very clear. I am not saying he's going to be a bad representative. I'm not going to say he's going to do anything wrong. I'm not saying he's a bad person. I don't know anything about him. I am just observing from a citizen in District 7, two different candidates, one that is unapproachable. And listen, I get it. Maybe he's at the level where it's required by the Secret Service for him to have, he had a City of Lake Mary police officer with him, and then it looked like he had two guys in suits with him. And then I think that the chief.
He may just have a crazy stalker.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I'm not trying to, poor me, cry, Corey Mills.
Right.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you're in small town America. Lake Mary, even though we're growing, is a little country town.
People do crazy things in little tiny towns.
Oh, see,
all
okay, so now
the time.
all right, so now you're making my logic not make sense.
No,
I
mean,
was saying
okay, so
he should feel safe
politicians,
here.
well, yes, he should feel safe here. But like politicians, there's a lot of down home shoulder rubbing that you expect that they should be doing because they should be becoming friends with everybody who votes for them. But they obviously can't because there's a lot. But those that they can, they should be taking the opportunity to do so. I don't care if you remember my name. Say hi to me and look me in the eye.
Yes. And here's my thing. So the City of Lake Mary Farmers Market is set up in such a way that there's a main sidewalk that comes through the middle of the park and goes up through the gazebo. And then there's a sidewalk that goes all the way around the little pond on the outskirts of the market. All right?
Right.
After the parade was over, they left the fire truck and the stage and the flag. Corey Mills, chief of police, another officer, and two people in suits walked on the outskirts of the market away from everybody.
There's a lot of people.
Wait a second. They walked all the way around, and then they went into the command center, which they had set up inside City Hall, which is understandable. We needed a command center for that event, and went inside, never to be seen again. He
already got his votes. He's good.
It was almost like he came out, he waved, hey, how you doing? We're so proud of the Little League team. Now get me out of here away from these people.
There was a lot of people.
Miss Plankin, Rachel, in her little jumper outfit, I call it. It was like, what women wear that's like not really a dress, but not shorts. It's like a little jumper outfit or whatever. Had her baby Grayson on her hip, her husband next to her, and then Brian from the city. And Brian's kind of, he's like the events. I don't know. He's pretty high up in the city. I don't know his new title, but he's a cool cat. I love Brian. They're just walking around. And I'm on the back of the side-by-side getting ready to reload the grill because we were cooking sausage and all kind of stuff. And I hear, Jonathan, is that you? And then Brian and I spoke about, being back at the farmer's market. Because the first time I've seen Brian since we've been back. And then Rachel actually interrupted Brian and I. How are you doing? How have you been? How's the family? Her husband shook my hand. And we just had like a 5-minute conversation.
Right.
And then Brian and them continued to walk on. And they walked through the crowd. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how are you today? Hey, how are you doing? Like you said, it's like seeing people at church. Good morning, how are you? Nobody wants to know. The proper response is, I'm great, how are you? God bless you, have a great day. Nobody's like, are you serious? You really want to know? Like, I've got an ingrown toenail, my back's hurting. My wife's been hollering at me lately. Little kid's got a fever. Like, you really want to know how I'm doing? Nobody really wants to know. So I understand that Rachel was not expecting anybody to be like, all right, I'm glad you asked. So my tax burden's too high. The city water's coming out a little green. Like no, it's not. I'm making a joke. I'm being silly, right? But she at least had the ability to walk through the crowd and talk and speak to people that she represents, and the people that have either financially endorsed her, publicly endorsed her, supported her, voted for her, whatever they cast their lots in her court. She had what I thought was the coolness to give back a little bit, give back to the people a little bit, So anyways, take that for whatever you want, but here's why I said this. We live in a time when we're all hollering and screaming for change. But then we vote for the most, it's like we're in high school again at the prom king. We want change, We want the kid from the science department to win because he's the coolest kid. He just got zits and acne and he can't hardly see real good without his bifocals on, And I paused, and the reason I paused is because I was going to say something inappropriate.
Oh, good job filtering yourself.
And I'm not going to do that because
Okay.
high school kids should not do what I was fixing to say.
Okay.
So he's a good kid. I want to say it so bad. This is a fight internally for Jonathan Morris. But I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to have to apologize to my mom. Just a dorky kid. We're going to leave it at that.
All right.
But he's a cool cat. He's the smartest one in the school. And we know he should be the king, the prom king. But he's not the quarterback. He can't throw a football, and he's not good looking. And the captain of the cheerleading team doesn't like him. So we can't vote him in. You know what I mean? God, no one can find out that we voted for Eddie when we should have voted for Trent. Or whatever,
Right.
whatever football team, whatever football quarterbacks' names are these days. So I think that happens in the political ring where we're like, man, I know Mike Johnson's pretty cool, and this guy is picking up the phone and calling people, and he's in your shop and in your business, and he really wants to care, and he's fighting for you at the SAC meetings. I've never seen Corey Mills in my life, but the media says Corey Mills is the captain of the football team. He's a national hero. I got to vote Corey Mills. I can't vote Mike Johnson. And we continue, and that's just the District 7 guys' analogy, all right? So I'm sure you have your own people in your own towns that you know what I'm talking about. Same thing with the school board. They have been hollering for change at the school board in Seminole County for years. The incumbents won. We had Kelly Kritz on. We had Carl Tipton on. And they were running up against incumbents that already were seated. And they lost, both of them. Kelly lost by a landslide. Carl lost by a small margin, but he still lost. And it just doesn't make sense to me how we cry for change and we scream for change and we holler for change and we stand and we picket and we say we demand this and we demand this and it's our children and we care about our children and we want better for, and then we get to the ballot box and we vote for the quarterback of the football team and we vote for the captain of the cheerleading team in an analogic, I'm making an analogy. How would I say that?
I don't know.
But do you get
right.
my drift? Am
No,
making
I definitely
sense?
do. Yes.
All right. So that's my question. How do we ever get change if we just keep voting for the main name that they put before us and we don't hold them accountable? And if I'm not mistaken, your job as representative is to represent. How can you represent people you don't know? And
Wow, that's really good.
because let me tell you this, I love our chief of police. I love our mayor. But our mayor and our chief of police does not know everything about Jonathan Morris for obvious reasons. But so by them saying, well, Jonathan Corey Mills, right? I'm being Corey Mills right now. Well, Jonathan, I talked to your mayor. I talked to your commissioner. I talked to your chief of police. And that's where I get my information at to go back and represent you. Okay, great. So out of 100 things, they know 8. Now, I'm not saying that he can talk to everybody in District 7. But how hard would it be to have a couple, 2, 3, 4, 5 town halls? And since we're going to title this show Fluid, because this is fluid, life is fluid, how about every once in a while, because I don't know, this is what we elected you to do. I don't think I'm being unreasonable. How about every once in a while, and I'm not just picking on Corey, I'm talking about everybody.
Oh, all the politicians are guilty.
Have
all of them.
Yes. Have a town hall or have a meet and greet. And you don't have to touch people. You don't have to shake hands. But be in a room with somebody and have people in your campaign staff taking notes and let it just be an open questionnaire. Where it's like, hey guys, tonight is your night to vomit on me. I'm not going to respond or answer. But you get to look at me and tell me what you want me to know. So when I go up to Washington, I know how to represent you. I can't promise you everything. I may not promise you nothing. But at least you know I heard it, and I will do the best I can. And then have people over there taking notes, recording minutes, and everybody, well, I don't like the water in Geneva, or I don't like the taxes, out at the corner of 417 and 46, and I don't like the stoplight over here. And, you'll have your crazy people. Well, that one speed bump on the other side of town, right? So I understand all that.
Potholes.
Yeah, can you do something about the pothole? They put a new Publix up, and I don't like it.
Oh.
Can you make Publix
Hold
change?
on.
Yeah, hold on. Let me call Publix.
Let me work some magic.
But imagine if we demanded better. I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm going to get off this because we got more doo-doo to get to. But could you imagine a world where our representation, our representatives, our senators, our congressmen met with us as groups of people? They can't meet one-on-one. But be like, hey, next Thursday night, we're going to be down at the Civic Center. Come in. Everybody gets 1 to 2 minutes to say one thing.
Oh my gosh, that's a long night.
I don't care.
I mean, I kind of feel for them because like they're human too, but like
But that's what
their job.
they
They knew what they were getting into.
They want to be that person. They want those connections. They ran for it. It was a free office. They volunteered to be our representatives. So don't tell me they don't want to put in the work now.
I'm telling you, they don't want to put in the work now.
I
It was
know.
so hard to campaign. They don't want to put in the work now.
And what they want to do is cater to the special interest groups. They'll meet with them. They'll have a steak dinner with them.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? And here's a check for $100,000. About a man. We'll be right back.